We need to put a ad in LinkedIn, something for a producer. Now we're looking right. Okay. Now they let me be in control. Good things happen. All right. Now let's start this again. How y'all feeling, fellas?
We're all right. I see you
Great.
had your Eli Gold voice on earlier.
Yeah, that didn't
I'm
work.
good.
I'm trying to get the Mississippi out of me so we gain more viewers, and appear professional. So there you go.
I got
Well,
you.
we can get more guests in Mississippi. We start giving away tank tops and Vienna sausages. I'm sure all the Mississippians show up then.
Hey, man, you stay out of my cupboard, man. You stay out of my
Oh,
cupboard.
oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Is it tank tops and Vienna sausages? Hell no.
Hey, Steve, that's a Pabst Blue Ribbon. Boy, we'll get all the Mississippi on the show. We start giving that away.
Everybody from Mississippi.
Oh, man.
It'll call the BAMA Standard Mississippi Takeover. Yeah.
I don't know if y'all ready for that, man. We'll have Hank Williams Jr. introducing the show. I don't know if it'll work right.
Hell no. He'll pronounce everybody's name wrong.
Well, since things are getting a little
man.
since things are getting a little chaotic, let's go ahead and transition to constant chaos so we can get Marvin's thoughts on everything going on right now. What you got, Marvin?
This week's chaos comes straight out of the great city of Baton Rouge. Well, apparently, Gulf's Tigers is code for she really means yes, you can take what you want according to Les Miles. How do you get reprimanded by your AD and you're not allowed to be alone with student trainers, with females in general, but you still get to keep your job, but they just say you can't be alone with any females? What really went on for them to put that type of restriction on you and not fire you?
Hey man, hey, for real. Some in them beignets, man. It's them beignets. I'm telling you.
Steve, you didn't
wait. I'm late. When did this happen?
Let me give you the rundown, Steve. So this happened back in 2013, 2014, 2-3 years before they fired him. But Kansas just fired him due to these allegations. I seen that today. So apparently he was kissing on female student workers, employees, making them feel real uncomfortable. Oh, Les was pushing that button. Les was trying to get that work in at work. And Les did no don't mean no to Les, I guess. I don't know. It might be a Baton Rouge thing. I don't know. But I read the reports, and it's not looking good for Les to probably coach again.
What I heard was Les Miles got a copy of your book.
What? Okay, you read the report. I understand you read the report, but what did you read in the report? The fans want to know. What did you read?
That he was kissing on student employees, student trainers, the girls who worked in the complex. He was making inappropriate advances and touching on female staffers. All of the above. Les was trying to get busy with everything that with a pulse in there, Steve.
In his condo.
Oh,
Yeah.
So in other words, grass wasn't the only thing Les was eating down there.
He was a true carpet muncher.
I guess.
Yeah, but the AD, they all knew about this, and he kept his job for years, though. And they just told him he was not allowed to be one-on-one with any females. Come on now.
So, you know what, man? Favor don't care.
Right, because had that been one of us, we would have been on the bottom line.
So and they're just.
Yep, they're just now releasing all this.
Oh yeah, there was rumors of things, earlier in the year, but it's really starting to pile up right now. So it's unreal what's going on down there in Tigerland.
Yeah, Les was doing too much. He was having a little too much fun in Baton Rouge.
For some reason, I think Steve Brown was partly responsible for that. What do y'all think?
Hey, listen, man.
He might have been.
I'm gonna tell you what it was. Les was celebrating Mardi Gras all year long. He was throwing beads, touching boobs. Mardi Gras was every day for him. He didn't take a day off.
Hold on. Now, Marvin, was he doing this with Edo or without Edo?
That I don't know. All I know is he thought it was Mardi Gras every day, throwing beads, touching boobs. That's what Les was doing. Les was living the dream.
Wait,
Steve, I think Steve is trying to do sign language for us.
I think what happened was I think he was announcing his part in the whole thing, and LSU was muted him.
Hey, Steve might have had something to do with it.
Hey, no, I came clean. I came clean. Y'all ain't hit the first time. Don't worry about it.
Hey, listen, now I know what it was. Mr. Charles and Les was hanging out down there on Bourbon Street. Oh, stepdaddy Charles, he done showed Les how to really get that work in.
Hey man, let me tell you something, man. I tried to tell y'all, but it seemed like CTS got us on AOL dial-up tonight. I don't know what's going on.
I think Stepdaddy Charles and Les Miles were the first to start on OnlyFans. So if you go back in the archives there, you might see some.
Hey man, but Les is still at Kansas though, right?
Nope, he got
not anymore.
Today.
He got fired.
No, they cut him
today.
So yeah, man.
See, I know what it is. Steve didn't change rooms. He trying to show off that little fancy artwork he got at home. That's why Wi-Fi ain't working.
No,
that's it. He wants people to think he's in Buckhead.
When I'm right down here in Jonesboro.
He trying to show off his new artwork. Look at it.
Hey man, listen.
Hey, that's that Picasso right there, ain't it?
Picante sauce.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it mild or was that hot? Yeah, boy.
Les Miles or him?
Oh God! Now I don't want to be deep into that.
What that grass was laced with something.
It was Viagra.
Yeah, but you know the sad part about this.
Y'all didn't notice every time he ate the grass, it had some blue residue on it. That was Viagra. That was some gas station pills. Yeah,
but
you get that you get from the Arab store. You know, you go to the Arab store and get those blue pills. You know, Marvin, what you be doing? Yeah, and
those actually come with the latest edition of Marvin's book. If you order now on 40plusstrong.com.
Really, Justin?
Yeah.
See, you're starting again, Justin. See,
man, we're on a new network. We're on a new network. New show.
Look, we're gonna have to talk to the network about putting broadcasting us through dial-up. We can't do that. We can't do dial-up. Just let them know we're a little bit we're better than that.
Steve, it ain't our fault. They had to dial it down so Justin can get on because that high speed ain't working in Mississippi. So they had to scale it back so he could get on, but it's affecting us.
Hey, listen, man, I'm at Ed's truck stop and Motor Emporium right now, stealing their Wi-Fi. I'm good, so it ain't me. I'm actually in the back storage room stealing all the Wi-Fi right now. So yeah, Big Marge let me in.
Back there,
So
one
I'm
of them
good.
lizard lot.
It ain't me.
Oh, wow.
Hold on.
He got a,
Hold on.
hey Steve, he got a lizard lot on the couch over there waiting on him.
Hold on, Justin. Is that a ham sandwich on the counter? Is that a ham sandwich back there?
It might be. Fat people got to eat, man.
You giving him too much credit, Steve. That is some spam.
Hey, that's gourmet over here, brother.
Pork.
I need our guests to hurry.
Y'all are awful.
Yeah. All right. So before our guest gets on, I'll go ahead and introduce him because I want to tell a story before he gets on. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have Aries Monroe as our guest today. Aries Monroe, straight out of Tallahassee, Florida. First day, Aries shows up with a wife beat on, some Nike shorts, and some dreads, looking like the Predator. We all looking like, what penal institution did they find this fella at? But Aries turned out to be a pretty good dude, man. But I'll tell y'all the story. So Aries had this ball, it was either ball python or boa constrictor. Now, mind you, Aries lives across the hall from me, him and Reggie Miles. So one day I'm over their apartment and we playing football, NCAA football. And I just look at the aquarium where the snake usually is. The snake's not in the aquarium. I look at Aries and I said, "Where's the snake?" And his response is, "Oh, damn, he must have got out." When I tell you I hauled ass out of that apartment back to my place, I ain't asked no questions. I beeline to the door. I'm like, how you just gonna have a loose, huge snake in this apartment? And boy, I beelined up out of there.
Hey, if Avant Galloway would have been around, that snake would have died right then. Because you know how he was owning snakes as a pet owner.
Oh my God. Yeah, Ahmad killed most snakes. Ahmad needed to be in Florida working animal control. That boy killed so many snakes in school. Every time I pulled up to their house, there was a different snake in the parking lot. He just throw him over the balcony. I'm like, boy, Peter gonna get you. You killing these snakes. You ain't even disposing them properly. You just killed a snake, throw in the parking lot. Like, come on, man.
I'm surprised the PETA task force was not at his door every day.
Exactly. So
he couldn't keep up with his snake.
Neither could Les Miles.
That don't even sound appropriate, Steve. So I'm not even going down this road with you.
I mean, mine right here. Right here. Yeah. Because my thing is I have I always have, it's a pregame ritual. People do certain things before they, they actually perform. Like me, when I do this broadcast, I always do a bottomless, no draws, no nothing. Just shoes on and his shirt. So yeah.
And then after the show, it's a video as one of his characters. So it's a win-win.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but exactly. But Aries was quite the character though. Like he had this 95, 96 Caprice with about 8 12s in the back. Oh. And he would come through the complex with all this noise, and we like, why, man? Why? I mean, the speakers in the back of the car was worth more than the car.
That's how it is, baby. That's how it is, baby. That's how it is.
That's how it is.
I'm talking about he's making all kind of noise,
So Marvin, was he a teammate of yours?
Yeah, we played together.
What was his position?
Was he a starter?
Oh yeah.
But he played outside linebacker though. I played inside.
Was he better than you, Marvin?
Hell no. Ain't nobody better than me, man. What you mean? Listen, man. I'm trying to get Cornelius Bennett on this show. You ask me that same question about Bennett, I'm gonna give you the same answer.
I want to see that.
Man, if only Derek Thomas was alive. If only Derek Thomas was alive right now.
And I say the same thing.
I know.
Hell no.
You would.
Hey, you got to understand something. If I had never got hurt, do you understand the body of work that I would have left Alabama with? In 1999, I had double figures in tackles in every game except 2. You can sleep on that if you want to. Everybody can't pull that off. Everybody can't pull that off on a regular basis, week in and week out, playing against Jamal Lewis, Deuce McAllister, Travis Henry, all them cats, Rondell Mealy, Kevin Falk. Everybody can't pull them type numbers every week. You know what I'm talking about? Alabama's current running back.
Name the water boy. Marvin, name the water boy.
What?
Name the water boy and the towel boy.
Hey, because you sound like you was hitting everybody. The water boy, the trainer.
I tell you what, call Robert Gillespie, Alabama's current running back coach. You ask him, he'll tell you the same thing. He got that work too. Man, please. Hey, listen, I ain't discriminating. Everybody got that work. Even Sean Alexander got that work in practice. You both always holler, stay off for Sean. Well, you better get him out of here, because as long as I'm out here, everybody who got the ball getting that work.
So you said no Sean Alexander rule.
Did you ever meet Les Miles? Tell us a Les Miles story.
You are not going to get me banned from the internet.
Steve, I think his book was inspired by Les Miles, and they compared notes. Yeah.
Justin, how much start you have? Hey, Justin, how much start you got?
Hey, Marvin and Les Miles gonna release a book called Give me some grass, but the G and the R gonna be crossed out.
Yeah.
No. He wasn't ready.
The G and the R gonna be good.
That's it. And to read the book, you got to buy a subscription.
That'd be a nice book cover, wouldn't it?
I hear you. So Justin, what's the update on Mr. Monroe?
He says he's coming on. Maybe he had to get in his caprice to get here.
When did you talk to him?
Just a minute ago.
Okay. He might have ran out of minutes on his phone.
Caprice trying to get there. So he's not here yet?
Not yet. He says he's jumping on.
It depends on what Justin told him too. We don't know what Justin told him, man.
Hey, man, I'm on the up and up, man. I'm just marketing. I'm promoting. I'm doing what I can to get this quality guests on our shows who drive Caprices.
Hey, man, you doing your thing, Justin. You doing your thing.
Y'all gonna love next week's guest.
Go ahead. Let's go ahead and talk about while we're waiting on Aries. I mean,
hold on. I should put my Alabama hat on.
Hey, it's cool. Hey, so we're gonna talk about next week's guest, and we ain't got this week's guest yet. All right, let's move along.
Well, we gotta move the back end of the show to the front end of the show.
That's what Les Miles did.
Right.
Well, I'll just tell you, next week we're gonna have 2 members of the 2009 National Championship team on the show.
Oh, let's get it.
They playing the game.
Yes, they played in the game.
Hey,
okay.
Towel boys.
Hey, Marvin. Aries says he wasn't driving us to Caprice to get on the show. He was in your Eclipse.
Oh hell.
Hell no.
I had 2 cars. I had a Pathfinder and the Eclipse, to be technical.
We're going to talk about that in a minute.
2 small cars. But
hold on.
A Pathfinder, and an Eclipse. You too damn big for a little ass car. You ought to be
But I also had a Nissan Pathfinder, Steve. I had 2 cars, man. What you want me to do?
Looking like great bait
you know
driving
what? While we're talking, I read some ridiculousness. And y'all remember Coach Probst, right? From Hoover to
yeah.
Go ahead.
Don't bring this up. Yeah.
Go ahead, Steve.
He's just mad because Alabama.
Yeah, man. Look. Hey man, now he's all of a sudden accusing Georgia and Alabama of paying players. Y'all hear that?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
I read that.
What he's saying is he been knowing this since the 60s, but pros wouldn't be no more than 12 years old if he knew it since the 60s. So what are you talking about?
Well, but let me say this. But see, that's the type of person that I despise. Okay, number one, you have gotten caught. You've gotten caught cheating everywhere you go.
Everywhere. That's why he
you go.
Period.
And because and then now
coaching and women.
Right. Now because your bridge is burning, you want to bring everybody else down with you. No, be like Les Miles. Go down on hard by yourself. Go down on hard by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Go down hard by yourself.
Hey, also, Steve, did you also see the former linebacker from Alabama, Yabe Anoma, was who left Alabama because he couldn't cut it there, went to Houston, couldn't cut it there because he got in trouble. Now is saying that Alabama was offering him cars, but he didn't take.
Time out. Not Alabama. It was an alleged booster that offered him a car, a Charger. And then he proceeds to say, yeah, they offered me a Charger when I was at Alabama, but I got one now, one that I paid for myself. Get the hell out of here, man. See, we shouldn't even be talking.
Hey, you know what, man?
You can't even stay on the damn team.
I'm gonna say this about Yabi because I personally covered Yabi. Yabi's got some mental issues he needs to get over. I personally covered Yabi. That boy crazy. That boy got mental issues for real.
Yeah.
Hey Yabi. Steven said that I ain't say it.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I personally covered
you know what, man? If you notice, the people who are making these accusations wasn't even in the program good. Like the program good, like Probst. He wanted to be a coach in Alabama. I know he did, but he couldn't cut it because he was doing too much other stuff. And then this other guy, he didn't even get on the field. But now all of a sudden, you done got, you went somewhere else, and now all of a sudden you're making these accusations. It's now, like, man, it's crazy.
But you know what, Steve? He's been dismissed from the new team he went to. Houston just let him go.
Exactly.
See, that's what I'm saying.
He's a cancer.
And now and now he's at Tennessee Martin.
No, he's not. He's at Dollar General. He got Dollar General down the street from me. Making accusations that they are not a double bagging the milk. And I'm like, come on, man. God,
nah, I don't think they're gonna give him that much responsibility, Steve.
He didn't have milk in the first place.
He doing cart checks in the parking lot.
Not double bagging the milk.
How?
Man, what if he shows up to Stillman next week, Steve?
Hey,
what you
but the thing is, man, huh? What's that?
What if he shows up to Stillman next week? Y'all gonna let him in?
But it keeps going out. I don't understand why it keeps going out. What you say now?
Said what if he let him play at Stillman?
Yeah.
What is Stillman gonna do?
He can.
Yeah. No. If he shows up,
you know what, man? Stillman does. I think eventually, Stillman is going to start a football program back. I believe that.
That ain't what he said, though, Steve.
I think with
Steve, that ain't what he said. He said, "What you gonna do when he show up to play at Stillman?"
What he say?
He said, "What you gonna do when he show up to play at Stillman?"
Oh, hey, man, hey, what am I gonna do if he show up to play at Stillman? We gonna let him play. What the hell can you tell on Stillman College? Everybody knows. You can't tell nothing.
But you know what though, Steve? When he get kicked out,
think about it. You know the big clock on the library of Stillman, that big old clock on top of the library. The reason I went to Stillman is because all four sides of that clock were wrong. I knew that was a school for me right then.
Hey Steve, but he go to Stillman and get kicked out of the team. He just walk across the street and get a job at Piggly Wiggly.
I know, man. Yeah.
Again,
Speaking of Stillman, I think that eventually they are going to bring the football program back.
That's great.
And Saban's wife is on the
At least
board
I
at
hope
Stillman now.
so.
That means it's about to happen.
Exactly. So that's why the talk and attention is like, maybe she can talk them into, bringing football back,
This might be a coaching
who knows?
opportunity.
She on that board.
Are they gonna let them students start having their own?
For her.
She gonna make sure the students start getting their Pell
No,
Grants.
that'll be a coaching opportunity for Terry Saban.
You be the D coordinator.
I mean, no, she gonna be the head recruiter.
And
She gonna be on the plane.
and all playing time, just send them over to.
Can't pay his minutes again. We can't hear him.
What now?
Oh, there we go. Hey, and she could hire Les Miles. He's not doing anything.
I don't think Nick gonna go for that.
No, he ain't. No.
Can he chew grass at Stillman?
I only think that's red dirt and rocks. I don't think he want to chew on that. He got no teeth by the time.
I don't know if he'll survive if he has that, man.
Hey. He might have to chew on that black and mild at Stillman, though.
Oh, boy. You sure you talked to Aries, Justin?
Man, I've been talking to him the entire show, man. He keeps on saying he's going to be on here. So maybe he's got a little bit of some technical difficulties, something. I don't know.
I'm telling you, man. The Caprice needs some oil, bro. Needs some oil.
And a carburetor. Needs to get off the blocks.
Hey, man. Listen, man. The way they was putting people cars on blocks over here in Atlanta this weekend.
And guess what?
Boy.
You called it. You said that they. I mean, man, they had people's cars on blocks, trucks on blocks, people mobile homes on blocks. I'm like, who the hell drove a mobile home to the club? But they had them on blocks. But
the funniest thing, though, Steve, did you see the girls sleeping and staying in these U-Haul vans? There were women sleeping and staying in U-Haul vans this weekend.
Oh, at Les Miles' house when he was moving out?
Yep.
Nah, they were staying in the U-Haul vans. Hey, boy, hey, like, come on, man. How you gonna be out here at All-Star sleeping in a U-Haul van?
Man,
you realize it was in Atlanta.
Man, you're supposed to keep things under control over there, Marvin. What you got going on in your place?
Man, I was at home. I didn't leave home all weekend. I like my wheels on my car, and I like my windows intact. I don't go to
his rim spinning.
Mine got no spinning
It's free wheels.
I'm not in Mississippi. We don't ride spree wheels over here. That's only in Mississippi. That's where all the recycled spree wheels went. Mississippi.
Man, they look great on John Deere tractors, man. I just want to tell you that right now.
Oh boy.
Me now.
I'm sure they
do.
We got you, Steve.
Hey man, I had to get on my damn self. I don't know what's going on with this thing.
Hey.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure what's going on with our guest, but we're still going to entertain you. Real quick, since spring practice starts next week. Somebody's going to the bathroom.
I can tell you what's going on with him. He's still in that damn old ass car that Marvin told us about.
We got spring training starting next week. What's one of the things, or more than one thing, that you're looking at that needs to be decided in this spring?
I think we got to figure out some things on defense first and foremost. You know, we got to get that secondary under control. And everybody's been talking about how much talent and how much depth we have in the secondary this year. I got to see it on the field. I don't care what it looked like on paper. Show me on the grass. Show me what it looked like in real life. I could care less about what something looked like on paper.
Not only that, Marvin, but also you look at the middle linebacker position, because right now Jalen Moody is going to get the first crack at that, since they're not going to take Christian Harris and move him inside. I want to see, can Jalen Moody not only call this defense to put the chess pieces together, but can he run this defense, make the plays, fly out the ball? Because as much as I love Dylan Moses, I love DM, but DM had me real concerned last year coming off that injury. He was not himself. Show me something, Jalen Moody.
I want to see if Lee can loosen those hips up and actually move, because he's out there like the 10 man. His hips are so tight. Come on, man.
Marvin, he got to drop another 10 pounds first, baby. He got to drop another 10 pounds.
Well, he better do something, because this is year 3 for him. That clock is ticking.
I mean, he got to drop another 10 pounds. Remember, he came in at 250 pounds, Marvin.
I came in at 255. What that mean? I played at 250.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's true, Marvin. That's true. That's true. But you got a different mentality than these other cats, Marvin. And of course, you know this.
And I covered receivers that were Olympic sprinters, and I ran from sideline to sideline, man.
Hey. And you also kept Crackhead Joe off your butt.
Marvin.
Yes, sir.
What's up?
Man, we're going to buy you a watch and send you a watch.
He had to take his Caprice to the service center, man. Leave him alone.
Mr. Monroe, what's going on?
Didn't know.
Hey, Reese.
The joke again.
Hey, Reese, I told him about that time I was over there in your room and your snake was out that cave.
Hey, hold up, though. First,
what you say?
I don't know. I think he had to place his order.
Let me get two number three. Let me get two number threes. A big bag.
If he's in Tennessee, he might still have them good bags. Okay, there we go. So while you were gone, Reese, Marvin is talking about your car. So we need to hear a little bit about his car. That's what I want the audience to know about.
Which one of my cars? I have multiple
Boom
cars
really
in
had
college, man. You know what I'm
the
saying?
hero and a half shell, either one, whatever you want to call it.
He said hero and a half shell.
One that you can literally tote on your back.
Hey, boy. Hey, Reese, I told him about that time I was in the room.
You couldn't.
I told him
when he got in the car, it looked like
Nah, I told him about the time I was in your room and I looked at your snake cage and your snake wasn't in that cage. How fast I bolted out of there. Like, what the hell?
That didn't sound right. That didn't sound right at all.
No, that's unless some Les Miles stuff there.
Yeah, that didn't sound.
Boy, you got a bad connection, Mr. Monroe. What you got going on?
Hey, he in the room he grew up in.
real loud.
Hey Marvin, hold up. Now you said that when you played, you were 250, right?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Marvin, you said you were 250 when you played, right?
Hey Marvin,
Huh?
Steve was at 250 when you played, right?
Yeah.
Right. So now I can understand why you made all them tackles. They really weren't tackles. Your fat ass was falling all over the place.
There,
you just falling into people.
He said that he could cover receivers all day long now.
Yeah, I can cover receivers, man. I ain't listen.
You can cover them when you fall on them.
I don't know what y'all talking about. What Coach always say, the eye in the sky don't lie. Okay. You can pull the film, baby. You can pull the tape.
Marvin, I want you to tell us
what does the coach? You said the coach said the eye in the sky don't lie. What does the internet say when it keeps breaking up?
Over here.
That say any quotes for that?
Yes, I got a message on mine too.
Steve.
All right, guys, let's go back. Let's go back to the flip phones.
But One thing I wanted to ask you about, Marvin, was I heard there was a story about one of your little cars. Apparently, you got filled with a spirit one night. And you decided you wanted to see if your little car could fly. What happened there?
It wasn't that I was trying to see if it can fly. I mean, sometimes when you're driving at a high rate of speed, you know, you're taking some back-to-back S curves, you know, things get a little dicey sometimes, you know. I mean, you know, when you drive in a car, you know, that's a high performance vehicle. Sometimes you like to play with it. And sometimes when you play with your toys, things don't go like you thought they were going to go.
I completely understand. So what happened? How did it go?
I think the pole won.
The pole won.
Oh, no.
And the toy was totaled.
That's okay, man. You still had the other car, though.
Yeah, I had my second car. I mean, the year was not what 2000, and I had a 1999 car, and I had a 2000 car. I mean, how many other college students you know has two brand new cars in college?
And then that's the one that you used to flex on Rod Grizzard, right? With the speakers.
Nah. Actually, I got that one after I wrecked that one. I went and got that one. So then I had that one, and I had the Pathfinder. I had the Tahoe and the Pathfinder.
Okay, I got you.
Oh, okay. So Marvin, since at first we're talking about defense and spring practice, what does Freddie Roach need to do with this line, Marvin?
Yeah.
What does Freddie do with the line?
If you're going to talk about the secondary, it has to start with the defensive line, because the defensive line directly dictates what that secondary can do. Because again, we all know that Alabama is a defense that relies on playing man heavily. If you're going to play man to man, you have to get pressure up front, because I don't care if you got who you got at corner, whether it's Marlon Humphrey, it's Sertan, Antonio Langham. I don't care who it is. Nobody can cover forever. And this season, we weren't getting enough pressure for that man-to-man coverage to do what we are used to it doing. And I'll say this, as Alabama former players and as fans, we're spoiled, because we're used to seeing that man-to-man coverage eat offenses alive. But that's because we got the pressure up front, because we've had the Marcel Dariuses, the Deron Paynes, the Jonathan Allens. I mean, the Williams. We've had some phenomenal defensive linemen.
Quentin Williams, baby.
It's so many of them. It's hard to run off all the names. But when is the last time we had a defensive lineman go in the first round? It's been a few years, right?
Deron Payne.
I think Q was the last one, wasn't it?
And how many years ago was that?
Q was 18, wasn't it? 18?
In the year is 21. So I said it's been a few years, right? So we were having them come out every year. We were putting out first round defensive linemen every year, hands down, no question, no talking about it. Every year was happening. It's been a few years since we've done that, but it's a direct correlation. It goes directly back to the fact that we have not been able to get the pressure we need.
Okay.
And when you don't get that pressure, that man-to-man coverage, you better switch the zone. You better switch the zone fast.
Now, but Marvin, during that time, though, Saban had like one alpha male bring that pressure. Like it was Jonathan Allen, and everybody played off him. It was Quentin Williams, and everybody played off him. It was Deron Payne, and everybody played off him. So even last year, it was sort of Barmore, and everybody else kind of said, do I jump in now? How about now? Now, jump in now. So this time around, are we going to see that alpha male dude, or is Saban going to go, all right, screw that. We're going to go pass rusher by committee.
Well, and that's my whole thing. That's why I say the secondary, it starts with what happens up front. Because, again, we're used to that defensive line being the dominant factor on Alabama's defense. And so that D-line goes, so the secondary will go. Because if you don't have that dominant D lineman that you got to double team and sometimes triple team, offensive line can block that easy. You know, it's easy to block. You know, and if you run into 3-4, you got 5 offensive linemen, and you got a tight end, so you got 6 people blocking. I can block 3 people with 6 people all day long. But when you got a guy who's commanding 2 or 3 people, and then you got another guy who's commanding 2 people, now you get the matchups you want. We didn't have that this year. We didn't have that dominant force. You weren't going to block Quentin Williams with 1 person, sometimes not with 2 people. You weren't gonna do that with
Yeah.
Marcel Darius. You weren't
Ask
gonna do
us
that with
about
Deron
that.
Payne. You weren't gonna do that with Terrence Cody. You weren't gonna do that with them dudes. Them dudes, you had to put the dogs on them dudes because you weren't gonna do it with just one person. I don't care who that one person was. You were not gonna block those guys one-on-one. And think about it. When those guys were being double team and triple team, look at your outside linebackers. That's when you were seeing all that pressure from all your outside linebackers coming to play. That's when you see your defensive ends getting pressure. I mean, come on now. If you don't have that dominant defensive line, your man-to-man coverage is going to be exposed every play.
Okay, so
Now,
now
one thing I'd like to add, as good as Christian Barmore was this past year, he wasn't a guy that was dominant every down. I mean, every now and then he'd pop up and he'd do some great things, but he wasn't like a Quentin Williams. He wasn't like a Deron Payne. You know, he wasn't like the guys you just mentioned. We didn't have that.
kind of froze up on us, Justin.
Oh, now we losing Justin? Oh, man, we gonna lose everybody one by one?
Man, I hope
All
not,
right,
man.
so back to what Justin was saying. You know, for me, Barmore, you know, he got better as the season went on. But in the beginning of the season, you didn't really see that dominance from him in the beginning of the season.
No, you didn't.
You know, it took a few games for him to get a few games under his belt to really begin to get comfortable and get confident in what he was doing.
And this is the reason why, Marvin, I wanted him to come back this year. I really did, because if he was to come back, now you're looking at him being a legit top 5, top 10 draft pick. I mean, now him going, I know the defensive line class is not good this year, and that's probably the only reason why he's being looked at top 15, top 20. But it seems that we got our guest back in the building.
Mr. Monroe, you there?
What's up, man?
You got your signal working? What's going on, brother? You doing all right today?
Yeah, man. I had to log off and come back on. That was it.
Yeah, man.
I'm at the shop. So right now it's like we're in the middle of Florida State, like literally on the campus. There's a lot going on.
Well, I see other people having technical difficulties too. So let's go ahead. We'll just jump right in with you, man. So you came to Alabama from junior college.
Right.
You were originally supposed to come to Alabama off the rip, right? But you ended up having to go to junior college for 2 years. What was that experience like, having to go to junior college for those 2 years, and how did that motivate you to want to be even more successful when you did get to Alabama?
Man, junior college actually really made me a better man. I was already big. I was already strong when I got to Alabama. I was way bigger than I would have been from just starting out at Alabama. I already had the experience on the field. We get, with guys at that level. So it was like once I actually got to Alabama, it was easier than it was going to be for me just walking in from high school. I can tell you that, especially coming in there seeing people like you, and you know how big you were. I wasn't nowhere near that big. So yeah, it got me prepared and got me ready for that level.
All right, and then now once you get to Alabama, everybody knows when you come to Alabama, there's the whole wow factor. This is Bryant Denny. You know, that moment is too big for some people. Some people don't know how to handle that. So what was that moment like for you when you actually get to Alabama and now you say, okay, now this is real. Now I got to do this. You know, I'm coming out the tunnel because like I know, when you coming out the tunnel at Bryant Denny and that crowd going wild, hey, that is that's a different feeling. No, most people never understand that feeling. So what was it like when you realized, okay, this is real. This is that moment for me. This is my time to shine, my time for me to do what God put me on this earth to do.
Man, listen, you already know the first play I ever made, the actual first play I ever lined up on the field at University of Alabama, I jumped off sides. I was nervous as shit. I think I jumped off sides maybe 4 times that game. Coach told me to calm down. Man, listen, I don't mean just jump off one step. I jump off sides. I ended up back there where the quarterback was at, trying to turn around and get back on sides. I was nervous. Man. And being playing at a small junior college at the time, where you got maybe 1,500 people at the game, and then going to something with 150,000 people at the game. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
It was nerve wracking.
That's a different experience, and most people, like I say, they'll never understand it. But you know, for those who do and they get to live it, oh man, it's a powerful thing. So
Yeah.
you get to Alabama, you're on the field, things are going well. What was your best game at Alabama, and why?
My best game, I would say, was when they actually put me at tackle and guard when we played Tennessee. That would be my best game in Alabama. I never knew it was that easy to play guard and stand in front of big boys like that. But, you know, I had pressure on Casey Clausen like every other play. I had this man stressed out, running crazy, throwing the ball somewhere anywhere. And until I got my chin split by Travis Henry. That's when everything got real. I don't know, that was right before halftime, wasn't it, Marvin?
Hey, people don't understand Travis Henry was a different animal now.
Man, listen, that boy hit me. I didn't know I was split till he got in the locker room for halftime. Got in the locker room halftime. That's when Coach ran me and it was like, "Hey man, we got to get you sold up. Sold up for what?" I looked down at the white jersey. And
bro, your chin, bro.
Man, well, listen, I didn't know I was doing. I looked down at my white jersey. It was like all red. I was like, "What in the? Where's that coming?" Coach, he was just like, "Man, we ain't got time to numb yet. We got to get you back in the game." Back in the game,
but that's a part of the game, though. You know, you got to take the good with the bad. You know, yeah. I mean, we've all had to get patched up on the sidelines. You know, it happens. But you know, for me, it's a rite of passage. It's one of those things. As a player, you know what's coming. You know, it's almost like when you get that cortisone shot. It's like, hey, go ahead, just stick me. Let's just get this over with, and let's just keep it moving. You know, a lot of people don't understand the hell and the torture that football players go through so that they can have their 2 hours of entertainment. You know, that 2 hours of entertainment is costly. I mean, because my body to this day, it is jacked up, man. So, you know, to all the fans out there, y'all should really appreciate the game because we suffer years later for your entertainment.
Hey, speaking of suffering, Aries, I don't know if you talked about this. Sorry about that. I don't know if you talked about this yet, but I did want to ask you about this. We talked about this earlier. Can you talk about what happened to you on your recruiting visit to Auburn one time? Apparently you got chased by
a fucking bison. Ooh, sorry about that. I got chased
went from a cow to a bison.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, man. I knew they ain't had to worry about seeing me in I suited up Alabama uniform, but they tried to get me to jump a fence and go slap this big giant donkey or whatever it was on the butt. Mind me, they tell me that it's sleep. I'm sitting there looking at this thing, looking at me. Bro, he not sleep, man. Slap on the butt. The fence, the donkey turn around and look at me. Whatever it was, I don't know, buffalo, bison, camel, something. When it turned around and looked at me, I took off. Take me back to the room. I don't want to. Y'all want to get me killed. If I'd have got kicked, man, that thing, man, listen, it was huge. It was big. When I say big, big, and it was dark, so it was a whole setup. I think they just didn't like me. I don't think they really wanted me there anyway.
I can't believe you.
They knew I was going to Alabama.
But how you let them talk you into jumping that fence, man? Come on, man.
Winning Auburn.
I mean.
Bro, don't remind me of
that. I was trying to be old, man. Show I had a little heart, but when I actually jumped the fence and seen how big the donkey was or the bison, I don't know what it was. Man, listen, y'all ain't got to worry about me coming to school here. Y'all trying to get me murdered, man. It's my first night on the visit. Literally, I told them to take me back to the room. I locked myself in the room for the whole weekend. I didn't even go to no meetings. I didn't go to the tour of the campus. I didn't care about none of that. Get me back home.
So you were done at that point, huh?
If social media would have been like it is right now, man, I would have had Auburn sued for that. Man, this name was big, man. And they telling me like, it's sleep. It's sleep. Telling me, as soon as I jumped the fence, it turned around and look at me and lick his tongue out. Really?
But you jumped the gate though. See, the difference between me and you, I told him I'm gonna go right after y'all go. And been sitting there right there laughing at them when they went in there. Because I wouldn't have went in there. Just like when I was in your room,
I mean,
and I noticed your snake.
I was halfway over the
Just like when I noticed your snake wasn't in the tank, how fast I bolted. I don't play with animals.
2 snakes. It was 2 snakes, remember?
I don't know.
I'm trying to play the football game. He telling me the snake ain't in the cage. I say, Marvin, the snake in the cage. You know, man, the reason I'm telling you that snake ain't in the cage, I'm telling you, bro, it's in the cage, man. Leave me alone. I said, you know what? I set the joystick down. When I opened it, I said, well, I'll be damn. Snake ain't in the cage, man. This our room up, getting out of there. When I said he tore it up, he took the speaker wires down.
Hey, man.
And mind me, his shoulders wide enough. He already almost came.
Hey, that's on some Samuel L. Jackson type stuff right there.
Hey, listen, man. I'm not playing with no snakes. Nah. But you weren't as bad as Ahmad. Right. Ahmad couldn't keep his snakes alive.
Ahmad had a snake?
Man, he had snakes with an S. That boy put a dent in the snake population. That boy killed several. That boy couldn't keep a snake alive to save his life.
I didn't know Ahmad had snakes. You know, I had a whole room of snake.
But then he finally gave up after he killed probably about 5 to 10 of them.
but just on the field, like, how did JUCO prepare you for Bama, man? Just on the field.
Honestly, a big help for me when I got to Bama was my cousin, Canary Knight. He was already there. And then Antonio Carter, you know, I went to school with him, so he was there. Yeah, but if he can do it, I know I can do it. This man, he was so small. But yeah, the real big help that got me prepared and ready for that level of ball was knowing that my cousin was already there and I grew up with him. So that kind of got the jitters out a little bit. And after the first game, it was over after that.
Man, you transitioned pretty well in that spring training you got there in 2000. I remember I was out there, you know, watching you. You were just wrecking folks, man. I remember sitting there saying, "This is going to be that dude." I mean, how did you fit in so quickly, man? It's like that defense was created for you to be there.
I mean, honestly, as far as like fitting in, I really can't say how or what made me feel like I did, but being at the the apartment that I moved in when I got there, like I said, it was like me, Marvin, DG, Reggie Miles. It was like everybody's just like me. So we was all on the same thing. So that's what made it more fun to be on the football field when you're actually out there playing with people that we cool. We had the cracking jokes. We had practice. We all friends. So it made the fun. It brought the fun from the apartment to the classroom straight to the field. So it was like that the whole time. And he can tell you we had a lot of fun classrooms too now.
I know you were in some of my classes. I know.
How important is that though for real? Just to have that environment where all the guys you on the field with, these are all like really your homies. Like you around these guys,
Steve,
you kick back with these guys.
You may tell you how important it is, Steve. There were several days that we showed up hungover and probably still intoxicated. Trying to practice.
Oh boy.
That explains so much.
What?
It says one word, buckets.
Buckets.
That word, man. Buckets.
That damn
man, TJ used to kill us with that. After practice, TJ would tell everybody the first jersey number he called out, he said, I need these guys to practice. Man, what I did now. See, because he said, then we got one person that want to be an astronaut. Everybody turn around and look at AC, his eyes are saying the jersey. Well, you just had practice. Literally.
Hey,
we smelling like a club.
Hey, look, we at practice hungover here, just trying to get through it.
Man, I'm looking at him. He looking at me. I'm like, boy, you smell like straight liquor. He's like, you too. Well, you need to stay away from coach. Next thing you know, there we go. We in trouble all over again.
But you know what though? But I
But
blame them, especially when they start making us practice at 6 o'clock in the morning. You know we was on the strip till 3 o'clock. You want us to practice at 6. You know we went back home and was still drinking about 4 o'clock. So you know when we get here, what's going to happen?
Hey, I blame the bar. Because the bar was giving us a bill for 10 cents. What do they expect us to do?
That and them $2 drinks. And $2 drinks. I mean, come on. You 19, 20 years. We weren't old. We were 21.
Wait. Go ahead.
Hold on.
Wait, hold on. Say what?
Whoa, baby.
What? We were fifth year red shirt. Yeah.
We was 20 years old.
When I say wrong, man,
Hey,
listen.
man. But you know what? I'll say this though.
Hey, Marvin.
Huh?
Take all the toppings off of pizza and peppers in it.
Oh boy. We did a lot of fun things, boy. Hey.
Man, I took the toppings pizza and loaded it up with pepper and all kinds of peppers and put the toppings back on. You would never thought the toppings was gone. That man bit that pizza. I had to run. I got a story that's gonna really get y'all. Go ahead.
But a lot of it had to do with the fact that Alabama was put on probation in 95 and 96. So the first full recruiting class was 97, then my class in 98. So we didn't have a lot of older guys to say, hey, this is what you should do or what you shouldn't do. It was like, we just here. We got to figure this out on our own because we didn't have that leadership that most guys had. We like, hey, man, because, you know, with reduced scholarship numbers, there weren't a lot of guys. And the guys that they did have, they left early to go pro. So, you know, it's just us. And we like, shit, we all sophomores, juniors, like we raising ourselves in school. Exactly.
You know, it's funny. I hear all these stories about practices and whatnot. And I was talking to Brandon Myree earlier, and he was saying one of the biggest things about you, Aries, was the way you carried yourself and with passion and intensity. And I was going to ask you, man, what was your main driving force?
Hold up, it broke up. Say it again.
Okay. I was saying that I was talking to Brandon Myree earlier, and it's funny that you were talking to me about, you know, how y'all's practices went after your previous nights. He said one of the biggest things that he admired about you was the way you carried yourself on the field with passion and intensity. I asked you, based on him saying that, what was your main driving force?
My size. But the size and the position, actually, because I was 220 pounds and 25 pounds. It's like I had a point to prove because, man, them guys was big when I got there, but I was always like strong. But when I said they was big, that man right like was like a baby gorilla. And let's talk about what the big tall man. This boy was like
talking about Bart
Ralston. Yeah.
When I first got there, Bart was like the one that I didn't want to meet on the field. But when I finally hit Bart, that's when I realized, man, I don't care about nobody now. I done laid him down. Anybody can get it. That's where I saw it.
Hey, you remember when Bart and them went hunting that time and they shot one of those big old wood swamp rats and they brought it back and they gave it to me. Why did they do that? I tied a rope around his neck and I went around and I tied it on their door, Justin. And the string was tied to his neck. So when I knocked on their door and they opened the door, it looked like it was coming down. I ain't never seen nobody grown me a haul ass like that.
Man, listen. Hey, you remember the night I came back? Man, this was ultimate right here. I leave and go out late one night, go to the store trying to get some drink. Toast. Already don't need it. I got car rims, I got music and everything. I wake up the next morning, laid up in the living room with a note on my chest. And the note said, "You don't know me, but I know you. We tried to wake you up in the front store last night. They were going to call the police. But I told them I knew you. But what got me in that letter said, P.S. I didn't have a ride, so I took your car." Oh my God. I got plastics on the car. My girlfriend lived directly across the street, but come to find out she was a stripper, so I gave up.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Man,
That was bad.
they won't put that in the media guide.
There's a lot of things that they don't need to put in the media guy.
Hey, especially
Yeah,
you ain't Mike Price.
That's true. Well, we're getting close to the end of our show. Aries, yeah, what would you say was your, I guess, favorite moment or favorite memory of playing at Alabama?
My man, honestly, I can't answer that because it was so many, man. It was basically my life. I still tell anybody that. We had so much fun in Alabama. Honestly, I have to tell you the best memory was, like, if I can actually put one on, was getting a DUI. That was a trip. I gets pulled in Auburn County, on Auburn turf. Police come in. He was like, "Oh, you Aries Monroe? You play for Alabama?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Boy, the sergeant's gonna look." So he talking in my mind. I'm like, "You know what? I'm good. When the sergeant get here, I am great." The sergeant get there. He want to take a picture with me. He want his wife. He called his wife. Said, "Guess who I'm here with? I'm with Aries Monroe from Alabama." I'm like, "Yeah, it's over. I'm finna go home. They ain't finna give me no ticket." The sergeant left. The deputy came back and said, "All right, man, turn around your hands behind your back." The sergeant told me to go ahead and take you to jail. We had our fun with you.
Oh, bro.
Well, no, I'm gonna tell you what made it even worse. This is what made it even worse. I ain't even met Coach Francione yet. I'm coming back to school from Christmas break. So now I got one phone call, and guess who I had to call? Coach Francione. He came and got me. Oh my God. That man told me, he said, if you even cough wrong, you can be the water boy on the football team. He told me straight up, he said, if you cough, I don't like the way it sounds, you start handing out water. And it's all AC fault. Honestly, it's all AC fault. He was supposed to be
all AC.
Yeah, AC was the one supposed to be back. But he left me. So I'm in Tallahassee wondering why AC ain't called me yet. So him like, listen, man, I'm sitting here drinking with my family. We go ahead and get on the road now. I'm ready to go. AC said, I forgot to tell you, I'm out here. What? So now I got to drive. I'm already half a case of Budweiser's in, and I had to drive back. I was there, man. My 30, 45 minutes out, they got me.
We're definitely going to have to revisit this when we have a reunion show in a few weeks with Canary and Kenny King and all those guys, man. We got that coming, so definitely make sure you're available for that.
I got you. That's when I tell you about the time we got into an accident when driving back from we drove back from Durham, Alabama with no windshield in the car.
We were in Florence, Alabama. we were in Florence, man. I wouldn't even tell about that.
Man, I wish we had more time for that, man. But definitely, I want you to open the next show up with that story. So, all right.
I got you. Hey, yeah. Also, we left the Mardi Gras and drove all the way back from the Mardi Gras with no headlights.
Oh, God.
That was a good one.
I'm glad we played before social media. God, thank you, Jesus, that social media didn't happen.
You would have been all over TikTok and everything. Mark, before we head out, I need you to talk to us about your book, how we can get our hands on it, how it's doing, and all that good stuff.
You can find the book at 40plusstrong.com, 40plusstrong.com. And the book is doing what the book does. You know, again, you can if you follow me on Instagram at Constant45, you'll see all the people regularly talking about it, regularly using it. It's really been a tool to help a lot of people change their lives.
And you mentioned this earlier. You started to talk about our guest for next week. If you would, go ahead and make that announcement for all the listeners.
Well, we've been talking a lot about Alabama secondary. So we're going to bring in members from the 2009 National Championship Team secondary, the one and only Mr. Tyrone King and Mr. Chris Rogers, ladies and gentlemen. Tyrone King and Chris Rogers next Tuesday, baby.
That's what's up. Appreciate it. I appreciate you jumping on, man. We had a great time with you. Like I said, we're going to have you back on the reunion show because I feel like there's a whole lot more story to tell. So, but I do appreciate you, man, coming
Oh,
on. I know I reached out to you late, but hey, man, we appreciate everything you did on that field too, brother.
Thank you, brother.
man, thank you.
All right, guys. Tune in
All right,
next week. Same place,
All right.
same time. Roll time.